This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
Okay, it's a sad day in some ways, and it's been quite a long time coming. I didn't necessarily think this amp would sell for a price that I was happy with. It's been on eBay on and off for a while, and this is the Mesa Boogie Electra Dyne. I just wanted to give it a bit of a send-off before I send it and UPS destroy it and I end up having to have it back and repair it, if that happens. It's a one-of-a-kind, of course, because this flame maple front. The Electra Dyne was discontinued a long time ago and replaced by the Royal Atlantic series, also discontinued. It's a bit of a weird one for Mesa Boogie, so it's a 3-channel amp, but they all share the same controls. I've had this amp since probably 2015, 2016. I've used it live like twice maybe, so for that reason I think it's an amp that I really do appreciate, but reasonably, do I need to have it? Maybe it'd be better off with someone else. So that's why I'm letting it go, sort of reluctantly. I do have some sentimental attachment to it, but at the same time, I'm not sure that's a good enough reason for me to keep it. In some ways, I think there are other amps that I have to keep now, like the Mesa Boogie Mark III, that I could pretty much do what this does with, or the Mesa Boogie Nomad to some extent, but in any case, I'm mostly a modeler type of person anyway, so it's a bit of a luxury, and yeah, I don't know, it went for a price that I was kind of happy to let it go for, even though I do think it's quite a special little amp. So I'll just show you a few tones. I haven't played a Les Paul through it before as far as I can recollect, but yeah, it's got 3 channels with shared knobs for the whole 3 of them, which is a little bit of a design thing. A few controls on the back, like clean gain trim and reverb on or off. The reverb on this one is actually quite nice for a Mesa, so that's one of the cool things about it. I think I would rather have a Lone Star than this one. All things considered, it's a bit of a more versatile amp, I think, but this one, really cool. anyway. So let's start off with the clean channel. Two-way foot switching, so you can go between clean or the gain channel, and then on the gain channel you've got a high and low mode. So our clean, at the moment I've got the volume running quite high to get kind of the chewy leads, but that's the reverb kind of up full. You obviously dial it back. So yeah, that's the cleans. I can take the bass and the mids down a bit to get a bit more of that kind of classic kind of. And obviously you'd have to run the master a bit higher to get really. I'm running it here in 45 watt mode. There's also a 90 watt mode. So that's kind of the cleans. You could obviously. If you wanted to, but I kind of like to keep the bass around 6, mids around 6, and treble a bit lower, presence a bit lower, because for me that then gives you a fairly nice starting point for your other channel. So this is the vintage. We've got reverb that's just switchable. You can defeat it on certain modes as well if you want. Let's bring in some more of that reverb for this. Let's see what happens with the mids as we turn them down. plenty of gain on there if we want it. Then we've also got the vintage high-low switch. If we turn, we've got another channel, which sort of starts where that one left off, so all the way up-ish, master, or the volume, the drive, sorry. Okay, and mids all the way up. So then switching between all three, just to show you what's kind of going on if you had them. So that's the clean now, which isn't really that clean. Okay, channel 1, channel 2. So there is a clean trim on the back where you can sort of balance the gain between them. So now I've got a bit more of a distinction between the clean and the drive. Like, it is actually clean now. Then you get quite a big jump. That's new. All in all, I think it's a pretty great sounding amp. It's a little bit of it's a really nice, simple design in some ways, but then you think if you were using it channel switching, you really, I think, want a little bit more control over each of the channels. I think that's exactly what the Royal Atlantic did, but I think people then kind of questioned whether it had the full mojo of the Electra Dyne. as you'd expect people to do, because it's you know, a different design in some ways. But yeah, I quite like the reverb on it. I really like some of the drive tones on it, and I really like the clean tone on it. So for me, especially with this Les Paul playing it now, that drive has a really kind of smooth quality to it, which I totally dig. So I'm going to miss this amp for sure. Hopefully it arrives in one piece to the person that it's going to. I'll try and make sure that I pack it nicely. But yeah, going to miss the amp, but I think it's time to move on. I don't need so many amps in my life anymore. I think it was just a little bit of a, I don't know, a sentimentality thing, which is leading me to keep hold of some of these things, which I rarely ever use. And as much fun as they are when I use them, I do think that it's probably fairer for someone else to look after them and get some enjoyment out of them, hopefully. I'll catch you in another video soon. That was the Electra Dyne, and probably the last time you'll see it on this channel, unless something goes terribly wrong. Cheers.